What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to this San Diego pre-show episode of the Moto Outsider. And as always, I am joined by my man, Mr. Chris Bear. Dude, how are you?
I'm just excited for Supercross, Matt. How are you, man? What's going on?
I'm doing good, man. I have one of the greatest moments in Supercross television history behind me. My man sending it to the moon. You know what I mean? So I had to represent for
Great.
James.
That was a
But
beautiful day. Beautiful day.
dude, it absolutely was. And you want to know what else is beautiful is the fact that we were just talking about nutrition. And I know you and I talk about this stuff all the time. I smell lovely Cajun chicken pasta wafting from my kitchen. You just had six patties from Five Guys because you're on the carnivore diet. But I want to pose the question to the audience. And what is your favorite track meal, whether you're practicing racing? What is your go-to meal that you have to stay satiated throughout the race day? Mr. Chris Barrett, I want you to go first.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have been off the bike for about 2 years. Typically, it was like a lot of snacks like cheese and like little things, some fruit. We'd cook burgers at the end of the day. But I'm guessing this
Yep.
year doing the carnivore thing, which I'm gonna be doing for a while, it'll probably just be burger patties, honestly.
Gotcha. So just straight up patties, nothing else.
I think so. I gotta test it and see what works, how it sets in my stomach, but I would guess so. I'll probably eat light, and I only eat once a day now, so I'll probably have like a
Right.
little snack in the morning just for some fuel, and then some coffee, and we'll get right into it, you know? How about
That's it.
you?
So, like when it comes to the burgers, though, no cheese, nothing, just straight up beef.
Or raw dogging it, maybe a little bacon, but yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
hell of a lot of bacon. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But for me, man, no. I was never big on eating on the bike. I don't, every time I eat, I always feel immediately tired. And I don't like when you're in that race mode, practice mode, whatever it is. Not
Of
that we
course.
practice like we were like what we were, but you want to feel good without feeling super heavy or sluggish. So for me, it was always like watermelon is my fruit, and then peanut butter and
Oh
jellies,
yeah.
man. It's super, super simple.
You cannot go wrong. It's easy in the stomach and it's
No, man.
delicious.
Dude, I remember for the longest time, man, I was on a peanut butter, Nutella, and jelly kick.
Bro, put some fluff on there. Oh my God,
And
I'd die and go to
but
heaven.
30 years of my life, I've never had fluff. Never
You're
tried it.
missing out. Can you please
I know
try it this
it's just
week? Please try it this week and
it's just
report back.
marshmallow, right?
Yeah, it's so good though with peanut butter. Oh my God. You didn't have a childhood. I need to talk to your parents.
All right. No, but
But yeah.
guys, let us know in the comments what your favorite track meal was when you were either racing, practicing, out riding with your homies. We want to know. Please share with us. But my man, we're doing this show because we've got some super interesting news from the Lawrence brothers, and we're going against some sponsorship stuff. Dude, walk us through what's going on with that.
Yeah, I'm just I guess it's more or less like Honda itself, but Lewis Phillips reported on Twitter this week or X, whatever you want to call it, put the screenshot up. Tim Geiser switched from KY or from Showa to KYB. We know Showa is the main sponsor for Honda. They had a new logo, like the parent company of Showa is like on their forks, excuse me, their fork stickers on the truck this year. But it sounds like he was struggling a little bit with suspension setup and things. This new bike, he's only been on it for a year. But switching to KYB that's a big deal. Again, that's a team sponsor. So I'm personally curious to see if that translates over to Supercross with the Lawrences, if they're going to be trying out new internals, if they're going to be allowed to try new internals. A lot of
Yeah.
politics in Supercross, as we know, but that's kind of a big shakeup. This because a lot of the stuff that happens in MXGP kind of falls down to the American series because they're a little
Right.
closer to Japan. So it's interesting. It's a little interesting.
I don't know how that works on the business side, although I'm sitting here thinking about it, like fascinating that they're going to go against what a potential sponsor would be. So it's like, do they swap the shock but keep the sticker on? You know what I mean? Like it still looks
Oh,
like it's a title sponsor, but it's a different shock altogether. Who
no, that
knows? Who
makes you
finds
wonder.
out what happens?
Yeah, no, it's interesting to think about. I mean, it could absolutely happen like that because we remember this year, last year, Chase Sexton was struggling with KTM. He actually has KYB internals and his WP forks is what it sounds like. He switched to that and liked it. Something that Cooper Webb wanted to do. Cooper Webb, 2023 KTM thing did not end well, but he wanted to try these things and they wouldn't let him, it sounds like. He was trying to throw on like stock springs and stuff. Like obviously just try whatever you can to be more comfortable on the bike. KTM
Right.
got a little more lenient last year, this year for Chase. It does happen a lot more than you think. So I'm interested to see what happens over the next few weeks if they try these new internal components and maybe they're more comfortable and they're just better on the track.
I was going to say, so what happens if they swap the shock and then the result is the same? Let's say they're still uncomfortable. The
Yeah,
results are there. You know, it's kind of a sad
I know.
excuse at that point. So I wonder what that fallout looks like after the fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're talking about factory teams. We're talking about the big. This is in a Honda corporate. Like I don't know. These sponsors are paying the bills. They're not gonna want to hear about other components going in the shocks they're providing for these teams. So it's gonna be a shakeup if they're struggling like this and Tim Geiser's trying this stuff overseas. Obviously, there's
Yep.
something with the bike that they're not happy with. So Man, I don't know. We're gonna pay attention to it. If you guys don't have
Yeah,
X, I recommend it. Follow these reporters. Steve Mathis is great. Lewis Phillips is great for dropping news in there. Again, we don't have the inside scoops. We're moto outsiders, so I read this stuff and we just kind of talk about it and discuss it because it's very interesting.
that's it. Until we have the clout to pull some of these big shots on the show to give us the answers directly, which in due time will happen. But I mean, yeah, man, it's going to be fun to see, especially going into this weekend, because they're going to have in their heads that the bike is still not 100%. So does it affect their riding? We're going to find out, man.
I mean, I just thought it was really weird to again watch Jet and Hunter finish, 13th and 12th or wherever they finished.
Super
Just
strange.
never would have
Right.
predicted that 11th and 12th, whatever they got. I don't know. I just you never see them ride that uncomfortable on the track. Jet is so talented. So is Hunter. Hunter performed way higher than I thought he was gonna for his first year in 450s. I mean, he was going into the SMX championship tied for the lead, which was really cool. I
Yep.
want to see them up front. Again, they're just talented. A lot of people don't like to see them win as much, and I'm the same way. I want to see other guys get wins. But again, we're
Of course.
watching a generational talent, and we should appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah, man, you got to admire it while it's there. But so one thing too, to go to our next topic though, man. Like, do you
Yeah.
believe in the whole angel number thing, where it's like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those things like, my girlfriend and I always send each other a little like, that's a personal, I don't know if it's a belief, but yes, I'm a believer.
okay, so is it weird to you that last year three riders were out with thumb injuries, and then this year we've got three riders out with Achilles injuries, which are infinitely more consequential, infinitely more strenuous on the body, and to have three riders out with Achilles injuries is weird this year. Lord knows what'll be the three injuries next year. But what are your thoughts on the three riders out this year, man, with those injuries? Because
Yeah.
those are some riders on the sidelines, man.
It's a bummer, man. It's really weird how it happens. I think Jason Wygant or someone talked about it. And it's been talked about a lot last year again when we saw Cooper Webb, Jet Lawrence, and then Eli Tomac all have those really weird thumb injuries.
Right.
And then this year it's Achilles. I don't know what it is. I mean, Tomac had one last year, of course, but just very, very strange. Sorry, Tomac had 2 years ago, but it's just very strange to see. It's not normal to have an injury that big happen so often in our sport. Maybe it happens more than we think and it's not reported about, but
Could be.
I don't know. Is it people talk about is it the Alpine Stars Tech 10 boot? Is it the boot itself? The professionals sometimes get a different boot that's a little more flexible, moves a little more. I don't think it's that. I just think these guys train harder than some of the highest, paid athletes in the world. Motocross, dirt bikes, or wrestling a 250-pound bear. I don't know, man. It's really weird. And Barry, Rodbell, Swole, seeing these guys get hurt really sucks. So wishing them speedy recoveries, but we probably won't see any of them on the track till next year, unfortunately.
Right. And that's what I'm thinking of because the thumb injury makes a lot of sense to me, right? Just your hand, you have your glove on there and that's it. But the boot does essentially act as a brace to a
Yep.
certain extent. And I'm wondering how those injuries did come about and if they are, bike related, boot related, whatever the case is. Just because, and if they're all wearing the same boot, well, that's definitely something to look into and investigate, wouldn't you say?
100%. I generally, I don't personally buy that myself, but again, it's dirt bikes, right? I don't know. That's what I put it into. But if you guys in the comments want to let us know what you think about that, I'd be curious to see. I've used Tech 10s my whole life. I don't have a newer pair. I have a pair from like 2013, but they're great
Same. I love
boots.
my
They're
Tech 10s.
heavy.
Yep.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're supportive. I mean, it's a $600 boot now, so I don't think
Wow.
Alpine Stars is lacking in that area in protection. I don't think they're skimping on these boots. I
Right.
just think it's a sport, but who knows? And again, I don't want to see any more of that this year. No more injuries. We want these guys to be healthy and make it through the season.
Well, that's it, man. Well, I mean, it kind of leads us into the next one, which is Ty Masterpool coming to 250 West instead of
Yes.
the East. And I know that was the big thing you wanted to talk about too. So what's going on there?
Yeah, I just think it's really interesting. Steve Mathis reported about it, I think Monday or Tuesday this week. And yeah, it's official. Ty's going west. Ty Masterpool, I think they said he's qualified for 5 250 races his whole career, but he's an amazing
Okay.
outdoor rider. I mean, we saw what he did the past couple of years in outdoors. The dude's stupid fast, going for race wins. I think Ty could absolutely be good in Supercross, in my opinion. He's probably riding with, not probably, he is riding with these guys, Jason Anderson, all the Cowie guys. He's going to pick up quick on this stuff. I truly think that he could be good at it really quick, but people are saying that maybe Mitch doesn't have the belief, or maybe he's not the fastest guy at the test track right now. Still a little bit behind everybody. So put him in now, let him get experience on the factory bike. And I guess it's probably hard for them too to put, 3, 4 bikes on the track on
Sure.
the East Coast for parts and mechanics and all the staff. So it makes sense. I thought Drew Adams would have been the one. He's the rookie phenom up and coming. I thought they would have put him in, but I don't know. Curious to see what Ty does. Ty's an incredible rider. He has great racecraft. Can he podium or win? I don't know. 250 East is very stacked right now. Excuse me,
Right.
250 West is stacked. They're both stacked. There's a
Yeah.
lot going on, but I don't know, man. What do you think about Ty? Like, do you think he can podium or win? I mean,
I
look at
mean,
the class.
yeah, I think a win is a long shot. Podium probably makes more sense initially when I think about it, but I
Yeah,
mean, it's kind of like a throw to the wolves scenario. So I'm wondering, I'm more curious as to what the team dynamic is with what their expectations are for him, because we can all, delusionally say, yes, we're putting him in because we believe he can win. We want him to go win. I just think that's like a fallacy. They
of
probably have a
course.
certain target that they want him to hit. And as long as he hits that threshold at or above, it's a win. Anything below that, they're like, okay, what do we have to work on? But I mean, it's first one coming in. I don't really want to speculate on it, but I will definitely be watching closely. I know I'll be paying attention just because it is. I like those scenarios where it's like trial by fire, right? You got to get out there and go figure it out. So I'm pumped to watch that. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think Mitch hired him solely based on his outdoor talent, obviously. I mean, he
Sure.
was so good last year. But again, he's young.
Yeah.
I mean, why can't he learn and get better at it? Again, being on a factory bike, riding with the best guys. Over time, you do these laps and you get chased. If Kitchen or McAdoo, whoever's chasing him around the test track, you're gonna start picking up on little things and you're gonna get better at it. So I don't see him having any issues being in the top 10. I think he'll be in the top five right away. I really do.
Sure.
Again, he's just a young kid, he's really talented. But it's another thing too, with no pressure now. I mean, very unlikely that he's going to win the title being 25 points down already.
Of
Again,
course.
Hayden, Joe, Julian, all these guys that are going to be nipping at, Hayden's heels. So it's going to be really cool to see what he's capable of. I could see him top five 100% this weekend, no doubt about it. But I could be wrong. I'm just a moto outsider, man. I'm curious to see what he does.
Well, the beautiful thing is, one, we're gonna have people watching that are gonna hold us accountable to it. But number two, we can watch and then just cover that in the next show and just break down what his performance was. And again, as the first race, we kind of gotta have some grace with it, but at the same time, you're hired to do a job, and we're gonna find out. But
Yeah,
to wrap up San Diego as a whole, pull up the track. Let's do a little bit of a track walk
a
digitally,
track walk.
visually,
Yep.
and just kind of review round two's track. Where I know I have Supercross Live pulled up, just pulling up the track itself. And you pointed out
Yeah.
one thing that was super interesting with the rhythm section before the finish line. Yay or nay on that? Do you like it or not a fan?
I think it's cool. I'm trying to remember. I'm sure they've done it before. I'm doubting it's the first time, but I don't remember the last time they've had a really long rhythm like this before the finish line.
Yep.
Can guys pull out different rhythms and make passes? Could we see a race win change, after a long straight with a rhythm? Probably unlikely, but I keep going back to this clip that I saw on Instagram yesterday. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. It was Ken Roxon passing Jason Anderson in the heat race, I believe, at Anaheim 1. Ken was so good and just he laid like really low over this triple. Again, I'm not, saying that it's 100% going to happen this week at San Diego, but
Sure.
it provides different passing opportunities. We're looking at they're probably going to triple onto this table, jump off is what it looks like. I don't know, man. It's pretty cool. It's different. The track looks pretty long. I'm guessing this will be one in the. It's probably a 50-second
Right.
track if I had to guess. It looks pretty long. Big stadium. I don't know. Anything pop out to you when you look at this track, Matt?
Dude, I like the sand section, and I know I mentioned this to you off camera. I wish they would integrate more sand features into the Supercross tracks, right? Because
Yeah.
we talked about this last year and the year before that, that these guys are incredibly fast, the lap times are incredibly quick, and not saying that, I'm actually, never mind. I'm going to take that back. But what I want to say is I think sand would be a nice wild card
Yeah.
to shake up how fast these guys are going because one, everybody largely hates the sand for the most part when you're riding an
Hmm.
entirely different tire and you're hauling ass into a turn and it's just full of sand and you're on the wrong tire. You know what I mean? I think it's a nice little joker lane, even though it's not a lane, but it's just like a little wild card out there to shake things up. I wish the sand sections were either longer or had more features and weren't just like a bull turn. Like I know some of the tracks they have some of the longer sand sections that develop over the race and they become you can see people jumping through them or whatever the case is. I just like them
Yeah.
because I think it slows the race down a bit and allows the lap times to kind of come together rather than just be ultra quick, super fast, follow the leader type racing. You know what I mean?
100%. I think was it Tampa 2 years ago? Was it 2023 that
Yes.
really the whoop section that was all sandy? Do you remember
Super
that?
cool. Right. Yes, I do.
Yeah, so we would love to see more stuff like that because it definitely was a differentiator. And you talk about sand berms, like do you set your bike up for like that little section of sand or do you set it up for whole Supercross? More than likely, I'm guessing they're gonna set it up for Supercross.
Right.
But your suspension's really stiff, and like you said, your tire selection might not be the same. It's definitely it's really easy to wash your front end with hard forks in the sand. So I don't know. I
Right.
think it'll be cool, and we could easily see someone wash out and change up some leads and make some good passes here. Looking at the
Right.
map, it looks like it's really short, really small. probably will be one line, but dude, who knows? It's nice to see a track like this. Looks a little bit different. They're crossing the start a few times. It looks like a good layout to me. I don't know. I'm excited for
Yeah,
it.
it
And
looks
again, we talked about it last week. Last week's track was really good too. So I'll have to
it
keep this
was.
going.
And dude, how sick would it be? This is like a stupid comment, but like how sick would it be if instead of a rhythm section before the straight or
Yeah.
like a series of jumps, what if it was just a straight drag to the finish line?
Interesting.
Come out of the turn and just
Wide
nothing but
open.
just horsepower wide open to the face of the jump and then scrub. You know what I mean? Something cool like that. I don't know.
It'd be
Just to switch it
crazy.
up. But obviously, probably not the best for viewership, but it would be fun just to see bikes with the most power just hauling down the straight. I think it'd be cool.
100%. No, I mean, we're all open to like seeing new things in Supercross. And I was talking to one of my buddies a couple weeks ago, like they should start bringing back old tracks, you know? Look at all the iconic races from the past and bring back
Yep.
some old layouts or just try different things. It's not like it's getting stale by any means, but the bikes
No.
are probably outgrowing the stadiums. I mean, we're seeing that.
Yes.
They're hitting
I agree
quads
with that.
and
Yep.
100%. So I'm 100% for trying new things, changes, because they could obviously put this finish line anywhere. There's triple in the middle there, there's another triple there, but it's
Yep.
definitely a really cool spot. And whoever has seats along the the stadium floor there, that's going to be a really good viewing spot because you got three rhythm sections right there. The whoops in the
100%.
middle. That's going to be a good one to watch.
Give me your predictions, man. 450s and 250s. Who's winning both?
Oh man, I don't know, man. I just got a feeling that Jet's gonna come out and show everybody he's still got it. In my opinion, 450s.
Okay.
I'm
All
gonna put
right.
Jet in 450s. That's not what I want to see. I want to see Tomac get the win, but I'm gonna
Yep.
say Jet and dude. I don't know. Well, Hayden's not gonna have another mistake. I'm gonna say Jet and Hayden, probably the most obvious answers.
Okay. I'm going Roxon and Hayden. And
You're high on
I don't think
Roxon. I
it
like it.
dude, I like what Roxon can pull together in the beginning of the season, right? He's healthy, he's fresh. There's no sort of fatigue built up yet. So
Yep.
hopefully he can get out with some solid, points up front in the beginning of the season, and we'll see what happens beyond that. But I think Roxon for 450s, it's probably going to go either Roxon or Eli if I had to guess. But and then when you've got, obviously Hayden doing his thing, man, I don't think anyone's stopping that kid. I know that's a boring answer for the 250s and it's very typical, but it's just reality. And like you said earlier, man, generational talent, like the kid's just going nuts. So just ride that while you can, right?
Well, yeah, 100%. And we gotta keep an eye on too on the start. I mean, this is a very long start in my opinion. I mean, we're going
Love that.
almost the whole stadium right there. So it's not like Glendale style start, but it's a pretty long one. So look for those star Yamahas to be really quick with Davies, Moseman, and Deegan and 250s. See if Joe can get a good jump and just run away.
Yep.
I don't know if he
Hey,
can do that 2 weeks in a row, 2 weeks in a row.
yeah,
Hopefully
I
he
don't
can.
know. I don't know if 2 weeks in a row. I don't know if he's got it 2 weeks in a row. If he does, though, if he can pull it out 2 weeks in a row, I think that is a very strong statement that he is making that he actually is walking the walk with how he feels, right?
Yeah,
Because
100%.
to ride that high and crush it race one, talk all that mess, and then you just fall off, it's like, okay, you guess he didn't really have
Mm,
it. But I mean, I do hope he does well just because he's had so much expectation on him, like we said in the last show. Want to see it come to fruition.
100%. And we got to keep an eye on these guys like him, Jason Anderson, guys that are on the last years of their deals. They're kind of
Yep.
racing to show what they got and to get signed again for 2026. So I don't know, man. This track could definitely throw people for loops. And there's a lot of rhythms. There's a lot of opportunities for mistakes. I could be wrong. No, I was gonna say almost like there's a dragon back right there. I want to see dragon backs come back. That one rhythm right here out of the triple turn. It looks like
Yep.
three bumps, but man, I just hope that we get some good racing this weekend. I think the track will provide that. And again, you guys, if you're watching this, let us know your comments. Who do you think is going to win 250s and 450s? Let us know who's going to get the whole shot in the main events. I want to know. I want to know whole shots,
Okay.
whole shots in the
Man.
main events. I want to say
Whole
Kenny, and I'm going to say Cole Davies. Those are my two right now.
Cole Davies, okay.
Yep. So I
Dude,
got. Sorry,
whole
I'm home.
shots. Whole shots. Wow.
Yep. Let's have some fun.
I'm trying to think of who the best starters are on the 450s, but Justin Barsha on the whole shot.
Justin, okay, he gets good starts. That's
Hey,
possible for
you
sure.
get Justin Barsha or Cooper Webb on the whole shot for 450s. And
Yep.
then like you said, I think we see a nice like dominant performance from Deegan himself. So I think he's gonna whole shot and walk it. That's my opinion.
There it is. Let
But
us know, you guys.
Joe does get good starts though.
He's light. I mean, but
Does
I don't
does
know.
get
That
good.
the Honda's got some power this year, I think. But I don't know,
Yeah.
man. You got three-star Yamahas on the gate. I don't know.
Yeah. Those
That's
and
tough.
there's some
That's a long
multi-star
start.
Yamahas. Wink, wink. I don't know what's going on.
They got some horsepower, that's for sure. But
Yeah,
who
they
knows,
sure
man? I'm
do.
excited.
Get them
I
big
love.
boy kids out of here. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Sorry,
man.
Yamaha. Just kidding.
No, no. We'll see what happens. Again, it's so fun this time of year, the early rounds, because again, it's such a shakeup, and we don't know. Again, as Jet and Hunter, are they going to figure it out? Is Chase going to be able to not make mistakes and get good finishes? We got a lot to pan out here, so we'll see what happens.
Sure will. Well, guys, that is the San Diego pre-show. We wanted to just cover some of those bigger topics before the race got here. But let us know in the comments all the things we've asked for. And by all means, check back with us after this Saturday's race. We'll have another show coming at you guys right after that. But other than that, guys, thanks for joining myself. Thanks for joining Chris. And we will see you guys in the next show.
See you guys later. Peace.
For everybody who watches this late, we salute.